You know what I've realized? Death completely violates the laws of the universe.
How do you mean?
I mean, the universe is built on the law of conservation of energy, meaning for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. If, say, a car hits you, the distance you sail through the air is directly proportional to how fast the car was traveling, for instance.
Nice example.
Right. But anyway, that's a constant. That's how everything works. Energy cannot be destroyed, and so the destruction of one thing always results in the creation of something else. But one thing I've learned is that death completely fucking gives that the finger. I guess I just never had the opportunity to confront that before, but it's really changed how I think about things.
So how does death violate the laws of nature?
Well, think about it. Think about a human life. Think about the entire universe of thoughts and ideas and experiences and memories that are contained within just one person. Think about all the infinite potential of a single individual. Think about all the social connections, the family connections, the interdependence in a society. Think about the power of one person to affect others and the future and life in general.
But then when you die, it's like someone pulled the plug on a toaster, eh?
Yes, exactly. All that, and then a tiny bullet pierces some key location on your body and it all just fucking vanishes instantaneously? It's bullshit. Where did it all go? You can't fucking tell me that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction when in the moment of death, all of a person's decades of experience and love and abilities and interconnectedness just cease to exist. It doesn't even come close to making sense. It's bad writing.
It's okay, right? To think about religion or whatever after going through something like that?
Well, that's just it. I mean, I really started to see how the whole religion thing got started. It's 10,000 BC, lifespans are brief, someone's mate dies from a fucking snake bite, and you're standing there watching someone's whole world vanish in an instant because of something so witless and random. Yeah, I'm guessing you're gonna start thinking of some kind of way to make sense of it pretty damn quick, and then you'll probably get someone to write that shit down.
No atheists in a foxhole, is that how it goes?
That's just it, though. Despite it all, I'm still not religious. Religion is just what people used to explain things before we had the mechanical capability to explain it all properly. And now we can explain the tides and the seasons and the stars and chicken soup.
So if everything in religion has eventually had some equivalent in reality, then
what people thought of as the afterlife could also exist. It's just beyond our current scientific ability to determine it.
So what would that look like, I wonder?
Well, having had weeks on my ass to think about it, I have an idea of what it would look like.
Do you really?
So, what differentiates us from other life on Earth?
Hats? Not hats.
Other than hats. It's our ability to defy nature, right? All other animals are locked into the natural balance of the ecosystem, but we're able to opt out. What do we fear most? Death. What are we best at? Breaking the rules.
So we'll make heaven somehow.
Society exists to meet our needs. What we need most is to conquer death, so it logically follows that eventually we will. But not just death in the future. All death. Because all death throughout history has been just as bullshit.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I pretty much now believe that to die is to find out if humanity ever conquers death. Because if we ever do conquer death, we'll obviously use that power to save everyone who's ever died. If we can imagine it, we can eventually build it. And I have to believe that in some distant future, we'll have invented a way to not only preserve consciousness, but to reach back in time, back to the moment of someone's death, and rescue their consciousness as well, and transport it into the future to live on in infinity. Everyone who's ever lived, living still, 1,000 years from now, or 10,000, a man-made heaven, analogous to what ancient people needed to invent for themselves to keep from going mad, to not lose hope. And so to die is to merely find out if humanity ever develops the technology to defy death and create a vast and infinite future that's the only possible proportionate reaction to millennia of people dying. The only possible equilibrium to thousands of pocket universes going silent every day of every year forever. That's what I'm saying. That's what I believe.
Wow. You literally do believe all this.
I basically have to. What can I say? Death fucking makes you crazy.
Near death, anyway. Your time in hospital sure changed you, huh?
Yeah, it did. It's not my death that got me thinking about this, though. That's my entire point. I don't think religion was born from a desperate desire to stay sane in the face of your own mortality. I wouldn't be sympathetic towards it if I thought it stemmed from love for yourself. I can accept my pointless, random death.
I don't get how your time in hospital changed you then.
It just did, all right?